In this video, we're going to answer a question a lot of golfers have, and that is, do training aids actually work? Do they improve your golf swing, or do they damage your golf swing, and are they a waste of money? So we're going to answer this question, and we're going to dive right into the depths of this topic. So I'm Jonathan Chown with JChownGolf. Let's dive right into it. Now, to answer the question straight away, do training aids actually work? And that is yes and no. So to explain that properly is, I've seen golfers really improve their golf swings with training aids, and I have seen golfers absolutely destroy their already good swings with training aids. But what really matters is two other questions. Is you've got to know exactly why you're buying this training aid, and does this training aid suit your fault? Does it help your fault? And then once you've got that training aid, you need to know, am I using this training aid properly? Am I using it to the way it was designed to help that specific fault? And we're going to explain this with both training aids here, with the swing guide, which I think a lot of golfers have out there, and two, with the impact ball, or you could say Tour Striker Smart Ball being a more common one here. Now let's get into the first training aid we're going to look at, and that is the swing guide, because this really encompasses the whole kind of topic here perfectly, because I've seen some golfers really improve their swing from this, but I've also seen some golfers really destroy their already good golf swings from this. But that's more because they're not using it properly, not really because the training aid is bad. Every training aid is pretty good if you're using it properly, but it's such a misused one in there. So first we've got to understand, why would we use it? Why would you use this training aid? Any training aid, you've got to ask yourself this question, is why would you use it? Why would it help your golf swing? So if you're a golfer who is coming in their backswing and you have no wrist hinge, you've got no set of your wrists as well, so you'll probably be quite a short hitter at the same time, you would really benefit from the swing guide, because it would really help you add that little bit of wrist hinge at left arm parallel, because all you need to do is attach that to your forearm. You can see that adds a little bit of wrist hinge. So if that's your problem, all good. So let's say you've bought it and you've bought it with good intention. So you bought it with that being your problem as well. So definitely, if you don't struggle with wrist hinge, you don't need to buy it. Or you can use it for other kind of little things, but main reason is for wrist hinge. So let's say you struggle with wrist hinge, you've bought it, and now you're using it and you're thinking, right, I need all this wrist hinge. I'm gonna get that wrist hinge straight off the golf ball. I'm gonna really try to do it straight off the ball. That's what I see a lot of golfers do wrong with this training aid. They try to get their forearm, or this training aid, attached to their forearm far too early in the swing. And you can see what's gonna happen when I do that. One, you've got to see, golf club gets extremely narrow. So even though we're adding a little bit of set in the wrist, we're negating the power element of that by having the golf club so narrow to our body. But two, the most important thing in why it can really hurt you, if you overhinge those wrists early, you're going to see a cup form in my left wrist. Now, when a cup forms in my left wrist, and now we know, because with this training aid, we're setting in that position. If we keep this on our forearm the whole time, we are on that position and we are locked down. Now, that means I can't really do anything with my wrist angles from there. I can't reflex, I can't straighten my left wrist, I can't do anything to compromise for that position to actually hit a golf shot. So we're going to be ingraining in our swing. If we do that early wrist hinge, we're going to be ingraining in our swing because of the training aid, that club face will be massively open and the shaft to steepen. Wrist angles will also affect what the shaft is doing. As you can see, cupped steep, you know, more flexed shallow. So we can see if it's used badly, it can really, really go wrong fast. So how you use this training aid properly, if this is your problem and you've got one of these, I think most golfers have one of these in the bag somewhere. I think I've got two myself. I don't even know where they've come from. I've got two. So it tells you how, when it's a good training aid, you do buy them, don't you? But you've got to know why. Is when you're coming off and into your backswing, you want that wrist hinge to be gradual. You don't want this touching anywhere before left arm parallel. If I'm getting this to touch at left arm parallel, I'm at good wrist hinge, I've still got good width in my swing, then I can still create that power. But we also want to make sure when we are hinging that wrist, we're not doing it by cupping. Such an easy thing to do is when you're adding hinge to your wrist, is that wrist cupping. So a little adjustment you could do if you've got this and you use it, just move it so it's slightly on the right hand side of the grip here. So this is that middle, I'm just moving it so it's slightly on the right. Obviously it'll be the opposite side to you looking on the camera there. But when I've got it on the right hand side of the grip, I need to then add a little bit of either flexion in my left wrist or a flatter left wrist to be able to attach that to my forearm at left arm parallel. If I cup it, you're going to see it's always going to miss my forearm. So that's a really important one to be able to do to make this training aid work. So as we saw with the swing guide, we saw how it could really hurt you, and we saw that it really can help you in certain ways and how to use it properly as well. Now, that one, like we said, encompasses the whole problem, really. This training aid here, a ball type of training aid. So like I've got the impact ball here, or the newer kind of improved version from Tour Striker Golf is the smart ball. So really, these training aids are massively popular. You'll see them everywhere, and they really do help a lot of people's golf swings. So with these type of training aids, they don't necessarily hurt you if you're doing it too wrong. They don't, but they can be kind of not worth the time if you don't need to use them. So you could use something else that would be more beneficial of your time. So again, why is this training aid helpful? Now, this training aid was initially designed for golfers back at this model, was chicken winging, because you're going to see here, if I chicken wing with this in between my arms, that ball is going to go flying down there. Luckily, I've got my net so where it didn't go flying down the driving range, but you can imagine my Tour Striker invented the smart ball so it doesn't fly down the driving range when you do it wrong. Another reason why you could use this is if you have poor arm structure at the top of the backswing, maybe you have a flying right elbow, maybe you have a steep shaft because that right elbow gets stuck behind you. This could really help you. For this or any other ball type of training aid, it can really help you get that club back in front of you and really shallow that golf club by getting your right arm in front of you. If you disconnect your right arm, it flies away, so will the ball. So you can see, if you use it properly, it can help you massively. But this can't quite destroy your golf swing, as we said, but it can be not really that worth your time. Let's say you don't chicken wing and you don't have any arm structure problems at the top of your backswing. Let's say you're an over-the-top golfer. It's not going to be the most beneficial drill for you, really. So if you're someone who swings over the top, this isn't going to fix that one bit. So you would have probably just bought this because it's the good training aid at the time. So you, like we said, you want to be able to use something only if it applies to your golf swing. So if you swing over the top of training aid, off the top of my head, that could help with that will be the Tour Striker PlaneMate. So trust me, I'm not sponsored by Tour Striker. They just do make some good training aids, but it's got to match your problem. Like for me, for example, I don't struggle with shallow in the club. I don't struggle to rotate properly through impact. Tour Striker PlaneMate, if you have a look at that, that will not be the best training aid for me. It won't destroy my golf swing, just won't be worth my time and worth my money. So I would kind of be wasting my money a little bit. So we've got to know whether it's helping us properly and our faults in the golf swing. So to really improve your golf swing with a training aid, you've got to have those two questions answered. You've got to know, one, why was a training aid made and will it help my golf swing? So that's the most important bit. But then if those are answered, and yes, it does help your golf swing, you can go buy it, you won't be wasting your money. But then two, you've got to know after that, am I using it properly? Am I using it in the optimum way? Because you can have one that will help your golf swing massively. If you're using it wrong, you could either be wasting your time or making yourself worse in the process. But if you have one and everything's answered, you're doing everything properly, it can be like improvement on steroids. It can really improve your golf swing so fast. I've seen some crazy improvements in short spaces of time when a training aid is properly targeting your area of the golf swing and it's been used properly. So if you found this video helpful, guys, hit that like button. Really helps me out a lot. And if you want more golf instruction just like this, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video. So make sure it addresses your problem and then you'll be good to go.